Hey guys, how y'all doing? And welcome to Scott Candle Horsemanship. I'm here with Kola. He's a 15-year-old Mustang, and Cola's pretty shut down. He's a pretty good horse. She can go out and ride him and do the things, but some of the stuff that she's had some issues with are the saddling that we're going to try to fix today. So I honestly haven't done much. I did do one thing. I came in and he really wasn't paying attention, and I just moved him around maybe twice around the round pen, and he started to pay attention. You saw that he kind of stepped up here a couple of steps, so that was a very good thing. So anyway, back to first thing we're always going to do is we're always going to get him to connect with us. So he looks like he's half asleep. It's kind of warm today. I'll just walk off and see if he's going to be able to follow me, which he is. I didn't ask him to follow me. I just walked off. So that tells me that's a pretty good connection right there. And what I'm going to do, I know that in the past, we've done some saddling stuff with him, and he tends to want to swing away and get nervous about the saddle coming up on him. So but what I'm going to do here right now is see if I can just throw the saddle on him without anything on his head. So I know in the past, even putting the pad on his back, he would still be nervous about it and think that it's gonna get him. So I'm just gonna act like it's part of me. I'm not even gonna think this isn't even for him. I'm not gonna try to sneak it on him, but at the same time, I'm not gonna make it a big deal. So kind of right there, he blocked a little bit. He thought maybe he wanted to follow me. So I'm going to give him a second and see. He's got his head bent a little bit, kind of blocking. And you see that he steps that way, kind of squaring his body up to block a little bit. But he won't be too bad. I'm just going to ask him if I can come over here. And all I did was move around a little to see it. There we go. Good. He's still trying to block, but I think I could put my hand up there and ask him to, to kind of bring his head back around and to not block me. But I want to let him know that I recognize that he's uncomfortable with that. So see, now he kind of wants to block that side. And I think those are just kind of natural instincts at times, and I think they can become habits. So I just want to be able to walk around him and not make this a big deal, not sneak up on him with the pad. And I'll just walk off and let him know that's all I wanted to do with him right there. So I'll just kind of go in and say, okay, if you don't want me on that side, I'll come over here on this side, and give him a second to release himself from what he thought was going to be a bad deal. There we go. So these are, again, they're just habits, they're instincts. Every time he tries to block me, it's kind of become a habit for him. And it's because on his mind, he's just saying, I'm not sure I want that on me. I'm not sure I want you over on that side. So I'm going to give him a chance every time. Every time he'll come here, maybe I'll come on this side. Every time he shows he's going to block me, maybe I'll come over here. Pull him away from that. There we mind, change his direction, make him come back the other way. There we go. Good job. So these little tiny things, I'll see if he can follow me again. Just giving him these a few minutes to realize that I'm not going to hurt him means a ton to these horses. I'm going to go up there now. We'll grab the saddle and we'll see how he does with that. I may take and just come over here and take that pad off again a little bit. His head's up just a tad, so he's a little bit worried about it. Not really having the pad on him, but having me do something with it. So I'm gonna grab the saddle. He's never had this saddle on his back, so this is all new to him. So I'll let him smell it. It's got lots of other horses on there. And then we'll just kind of walk around again a little bit. So I want to break this down into stages. My goal is to get the saddle on his back where he accepts it and he wants it on his back and he's okay with me throwing it on his back. So he blocked me off a little bit on that side, so I'll just come over to this side. And we'll see if we can release him and bring him back this way. So he's kind of locked up a little bit. See how he's kind of standing stiff and he's kind of reluctant to look over this way. Because he feels like, there we go, there's a release. When he's holding himself like that, his mind is locked up. And he's not moving because he says something bad's gonna happen if I turn that way. So we'll just come back over to here. Here we go. He just thinks something bad's gonna happen to him. So I don't know if he won't run out from underneath this saddle or if he'll buck it off or what he'll do. I have no idea. And he just wasn't quite used to having that stirrup hitting him like that. But he handled it fine. But these are the little things. If I can't saddle him and have him be okay with just that little bit of, saddle stirrup hitting him over there or feeling this thing come across his back, then something's not quite right, and that's going to add into a problem later on. We could definitely have that's a hole that at some point we're going to step in that hole and we're going to have a big issue. So he sees he's just a little nervous. I'm just going to kind of come at this thing like it's not a big deal. Now obviously you want to be careful here. We're doing this where he's nothing on his head, so if he ran off, he could kind of have this thing fall under his belly, so we got to be kind of quick. And I've saddled a lot of Mustangs for their first saddle this exact same way. He's pretty good. There we go. So he's handling all this very well. I like getting this breast collar on real quick too, because that can kind of help it to keep from falling all the way over. if he does happen to get squirrely. We'll just make sure he's snugged up a little bit there. There we go. And now I'm just going to walk off and see if he'll follow up and see if he'll get nervous about having that on him if he's not sure if he's supposed to move or not. I want him to feel there's that forward step that we want. He just wasn't sure if he can step forward with it on him. And I want him to free those feet up a little bit. I could move him and push him, but I kind of want him to follow if possible. I'm going to tighten that up just a little bit. So I get a feeling that he's a little nervous about stepping forward. I'm just gently going to ask him to follow up with me here. I want these feet to be free and to have him not feel timid about walking with it on him. See, I could push him around and move him around this round pen and get him, to where he can kind of move the feet. But if I do that, he's more focused on me pushing him than he is on what's causing him not to want to move in the first place. And that's because he feels awkward about moving with that saddle on him. Like I said, he's never had that saddle on him, so here we go. The same exact thing can happen when you get on them and they don't want to move. There, he's becoming a little freer now. So here's another thing right here. He's telling me he doesn't really want the bridle on. I'm just going to stay with him here until he can stop moving his feet away and stop thinking that he's got to try to escape. Because there's some reason in his mind that says he has to escape this. That it's going to be a bad deal. And I don't know that anything bad. I know the owner that has him now has never done anything bad to him. But somewhere down the line, maybe something bad did happen to him. There you go, bud. If he's avoiding me avoiding this bridle, then that tells me something in his mind is saying, I don't want that. There's some reason that's going to hurt me. And again, this can kind of be a habit. As soon as you go to pick it up, he wants to think, oh, I got to get away from it. So all I'm going to do is put his nose through it and not put the bit in his mouth yet. Just going to do that there. There we go. Take it off. I do like that he looked at me. He's not shutting down as much, you see. Opening up a little bit. So I just want to change these habits too, these backup steps, but they're caused. They're there for a reason. They're there for. There we go. There we go. Much better. So we're doing the same thing with the bridle we did with the saddle. We're just giving him time to figure it out, that we're not just going to throw it on him and hop on him and there we go. See, every time I do that, you notice his head goes down and he'll lick and chew. That's releasing that little stress he just had on himself. Hopefully this will. But then the pathway kicks back that way. That time it did not, so that was good. There we go. And now he turns to kind of come back this way. So all these are good things. We're making good progress. Put that in there as gentle as we can. Not too bad. I get that. We want to go for a ride. We just want to saddle our horses up and go. And so I understand that we want to get things done quick, but we got to be able to read our horses to know if they're ready for that. And eventually, this won't mean anything to him anymore, provided that when we ride, we don't hurt him somehow. We don't create a problem that he's going to start being worried about in the future, you know. And I like to walk off because I like to see how easy can I get his attention to come back to me. Because the reality is, when we're riding, we want to be able to get his attention back to us the second that there might be an issue. There you go. And he's doing pretty well. He's not, you know, completely hung with me or staying with me here perfectly, but he's doing pretty well. And I'm just going to move things around on this side again just to take away that feeling that something's going to be bad. And this horse has been ridden, so I don't expect him to have an issue. I'm just checking to make sure he can stay soft if I need to bring that. There we go. He can relax when I go to get up on him. You see his head comes up a little, and that's pretty common. But I'd like it to come down, so I'm going to kind of teach him to bring his head down. Let some air out when he thinks that things are going to be a problem. Anyway, I hope you guys like that video. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. all that kind of stuff. And hope you all have a great day.